everyone. Welcome to another installment of my testimony. Today, I'm joined by a friend, Kiera, who is going to share her story about something that God has done in her life. So, yours is based around your career, right?
Yes, yes, that's correct.
And so, how would you say you got started in your career, and how would you say that God pivoted you to a different role in that?
Yeah, so obviously, in the beginning, I graduated from college just like anyone else with a degree, and I was ready to go straight into my field. I was in communications, like public relations, kind of like social media world. I love being in that field.
Yeah.
And right after college, I actually had a hard time finding a job. It took me probably like 3 to 4 months to find a job, and during that time, I was super depressed. I remember just being down all the time, and that's actually the time I like refound God, I guess you can say, or that's when
Mhm.
God came back in my life because I found myself spending more time with him more than anything because I needed answers to my questions. I was just like, why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
I literally went to college, like everyone told me to, like this, everyone said when you go to college, you're set, you can get a job right after. And that's not the case.
Yeah.
That's not true. Uh,
Absolutely.
so during that time, like I was really looking, and so I did find a nice job, and it was an office assistant job, and I always found myself finding jobs in like the admin field. I'm just really good at it. I'm very organized. I can tell you, what things need to be done for the day. And so I ended up moving to, like Durham, Raleigh area of North Carolina, and I've been
Mhm.
working for that job. And while I was in that position, I was able to get my master's degree, right, in business
Mhm.
because the job wasn't too demanding. So it was also helpful in a way because I was able to get my master's degree during that time. And then I realized while I was at this job, like being here for 2 years, I was like, okay, I got my degree now. Like I'm
Yeah.
ready to go.
Mhm.
And I was like pushing God. And I was always questioning, like, why am I in this position? I'm trying to make more money now. Like, I have my master's degree. And it was just like I was always being told, like, here, it's not your time yet.
Mhm.
I was getting told so many no's from jobs. I was applying like crazy. I was doing like had little interviews here. I was on LinkedIn like all the time. And
Mhm.
I was always getting told no.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was the youngest at my job, the youngest. I was
Mhm.
20, I started when I was 23, 24.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the youngest person there. Everyone was in their late 30s, going to 40s and 50s. So they really needed me there for
Mhm.
like handling like their website and handling like making flyers. So, it wasn't, I didn't go straight into my field. I feel like God positioned me to be in that place to gain like more responsibilities and learn more about what I
Mhm.
wanted to do because I wasn't exactly sure. I just knew I loved social media communications
Yeah.
in that field and getting my master's degree and kind of exploring and serving throughout church. I learned in that season what I wanted to do. So I'm very grateful for that time there.
Yeah. Absolutely. I could completely empathize with everything you were saying because I didn't get a job for like 3 months after college, and like I'm in such a bad mood because I'm comparing myself to what everybody else is going through, and like they found a job right out of college and they did all this and that, and I'm just like wondering like God, why do you got me here? But do you think going through that like tough period was uh was a period in your life where like God used that to bring you to something that He had meant for you?
Oh, for sure. I think it's so funny, and I feel like I hear this a lot. Like when we go through our toughest and most difficult times, that's when we find God again. And I'm
Mhm.
not saying He places us there. Like I'm not saying like that's because God did it, but I feel as though we get into that place, then we can call on God because it's like He probably hasn't heard His name being said out your mouth in so long. Like
Mhm.
has He heard you say, "Jesus, I need help"? Like so in that moment, like I was calling on his name. I was praying all the time. I was fasting more than ever during those 3 to 4 months because
Mhm.
I feel like I just needed him.
Yeah,
And God wants to feel needed. Like that is our father. I mean, he died for us, like
absolutely.
he wants to be part of our lives. And so during that time, like I was like, okay, God, you got it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and it is so crazy once you get what you want or what you prayed it for, it's like you forgot, you forget all again what God
Mhm.
did for you. So I found myself in that place again too. Like,
Yeah,
here, really, you just got what you wanted and you were doing it for like 2 years and now you're praying for something else and you
yeah.
prayed for that. So definitely during that time, I mean, I found God more than ever, and he was there. He was listening.
Mhm.
I heard him very clear.
Yeah, that's really great. I love to see that, like, whenever we feel like we're just getting buried and just getting, like, pushed down by all of life's problems, that God has a plan that we just don't see yet, and it
Right.
really like pushes us to stretch our faith in those moments, because having being able to let go of something that you have control over is like it takes a lot of faith to be able to do that, just to take your hands off of it. So what would you say that taught you overall, like him shifting you into that position? How did that like teach you things that you'll apply to like other parts of your life?
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing was just
Hmm.
trusting him, and trusting his time, trusting when he'll come in and be like, "Yeah, I got this. I'm handling the wheel now. Like I got it."
Yeah.
Because I think when you're in that waiting season, it can just you can start just to doubt yourself. That's what I was starting to do. I was like, okay,
Hmm.
God does not see me. God does not love me. Obviously, He just wants me to be stuck here forever. And granted, I'm so young, still I'm only
Yeah.
25, but like we're just like we're gonna be here forever. Like life's over. But during that time, like God is, I think He just kept reminding me that here, your time is coming, but I just need you to trust me
Hmm.
with while you're here at this job, that I have something better for you coming.
Yeah.
But I just need you to trust me. I still need you here. I have an assignment for here. Because what I found with me being the youngest person there,
Hmm.
the older people there, they kind of lost hope. There's no light there. I've been told, and I'm not trying to boost my head or anything, but I've been told multiple times, like, here, you're a light in this
Hmm.
workplace. Like, we love your smile. We can see God through you. And at first, it's like, oh wow, this is awesome. And then it was just like, okay, I hear this all the time, but he needed me to be there.
Yeah.
He wanted me, not for me, but it was more
Mhm.
so for them. It was
Yeah.
for other people. And that, I think that's God's biggest thing. Like, he wants his love to be shown throughout all kinds of people. And
Mhm.
that was I was this vessel. I was used as this vessel, being there. So yeah, I mean, in that season I was just really learning to just trust him and just be
Mhm.
patient.
Yeah.
And have faith for sure. Definitely have
Yeah.
faith.
Absolutely. The times I've asked for something from God, He put me in a position where it required me to have it. So patience, I'm going to get a lot of situations where I'm going to need some more patience, like in those scenarios. So I think that's great, especially because you were able to. Not only was you got something you were asking for God, and like you were feeling like fulfillment from Him because of that, but also getting to share that with other people.
Yeah,
And even when you do that, like that helps with their lives and they're able to pour into other people's lives. So faith is really, it's something that's expansive and it's like never ending. So I think that's really great that you were able to do that for others and be able to share your story. Because when I saw it, I was like, that's a really great testimony about how God is using her. And I think a lot of times we forget when we're like having faith for something that, hey, it's not just for you. There's someone else that I'm gonna impact that I need you to play a part in. And you may not see it like initially, like
yeah.
he may be using you to impact someone like 3 years down the road. So I think that's really fantastic.
Thanks. Yes. No, God. I think we hear it all the time. God is so good, but like
Mhm.
His timing is perfect. It's
Yeah.
always perfect, and it's always right when you need it. And like I literally look back, I'm just like, wow. I just started this new position actually 5 days ago, and I'm just like, yeah, that was the perfect timing. Like,
Yeah.
like I was like, if I would have got it beforehand, I wouldn't have appreciated,
Hmm.
as much as I do now, and I wouldn't be going in as strong as I am now because like I'm super excited for it. So it's just like, yeah, God, you like I was obviously He knows what He's doing, but it's like, yeah, God, you really know what you're doing,
Yeah.
like. So yes, definitely.
Yeah. It always makes me like in those moments, like you were saying, you get that hindsight. It always makes you look back and just like, I should have been doing this a lot sooner. I could have got here a lot quicker if I would have just listened, you know?
Yes,
So,
yes,
yeah, that's why like it's grace is so it's just so perfect. It's the best thing. It's the best gift uh that he's given us.
yes. I
So
I agree.
what would you say is a Bible verse that really makes you like think about how he moved you into that position?
Yeah. So, I actually have it pulled up here because I just want to make sure I say it all correct. I think
Yeah.
I get so excited, but I think Proverbs 3:5 is what I related to the most, which
Mhm.
is trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not depend on your own understanding.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I literally just taken for what it says, like just trusting in the Lord with all of your heart. Like, yes, it may not make sense in the season you're in. It may not make sense why you're at this job and why you not, may not be getting paid the money you think you deserve.
Yeah.
But God, like we are here on earth for an assignment, right?
Yeah.
Like all of us have an assignment. And I mean, I think the biggest assignment is that we want more people to know about God. We want people to like believe in God, right? But it looks different in every single way.
Hmm.
But you have to, when it comes down to it, you have to trust God with all your heart, and you can't lean on to your own understanding, because if you do, you could be all over the place, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you really can. If you think about what we feel in one day, like we can be happy and sad
Oh
and
yeah.
angry all in one day, right? So when you do like lean to your own understanding, it's just like for the most part, it doesn't work out, you know. It doesn't
Yeah.
work out in the way that you would have wanted it to. So at the end of the day, it's about trusting in God and his plans. It's about having faith at what is to come, and it's about being patient and waiting, because you know, every season looks different. And
Hmm.
you may not understand why you may be in that season, but you know, from what I noticed, granted, I've only been here on Earth for 25 years. You know,
Yeah.
like I just have, you know, I've been through a lot, but I mean, there's so much, you know, more down the line. But like, it always works out.
Yeah.
I do that every single time. It always works out when I put God first in the midst of any situation.
Yeah. That's really fantastic. I'm getting to a point where I'm getting to like certain things. I'm just being stuck in my faith, and I'm just like, nah, I'm not moving.
Yep.
Like I'm being very stubborn in it because I've written down like the things he did in the past. Like you can't forget this because you were asking for this and he gave it to you, and now you're losing the faith that you had back then. Now that
Yep.
like you're in need of something else, so just being steadfast in that, I think that's really wonderful.
Yes, no, that's really good. I think it's important. I mean, you know, even in the Bible it says have faith as small as a mustard seed, but it's just like
Hmm.
yeah, like seriously, that's all you need. Like you can have that, like you're set, you're good to go. And so you know, I feel like sometimes we go back and forth, like, oh, is he really gonna move on this? Is he
Hmm.
really gonna do something like but every time he proves me wrong, and he's just like, yeah, I did it, just like that. Just like
Well,
that.
thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That that definitely is. I've listened to multiple ones. That's definitely one that's like touched me because I can empathize everything going through career and all of that. All
Mhm.
the struggles that can come along with that, and struggling to have or working to have faith and patience in those really tough and like trying moments. So thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for so much for having me and letting me share my testimony on here.
Absolutely.